Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am still alive. I haven't done a video in ages, but I thought I could, do one now and talk about something which you probably haven't heard about very much. Talk about the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19. Obviously that's a joke because it's in the news all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm here with Emily, and we decided that what we'll do today is a rapid antigen COVID-19 test.
Yeah.
If you're from overseas, they're a lot more common than they are in Australia, but now in Australia, they're selling them at chemists and things like that, so
Pharmacies.
Pharmacies, all of that stuff. Supermarkets. So I thought I'd give one a go. Disclaimer, I'm not sick and I don't have any symptoms, but I thought it'd be good to try one out, so if I do need to use one for real, I'll know what to do.
Yeah.
So Emily,
Yeah.
what do we do first? I have no idea.
So should we go through the equipment or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Alright, so what do we have? So first we just have the box.
The box?
Yeah. And it has 5 tests in it. It was about $50.
Yeah.
5?
So the bigger tests, the PCT tests,
PCR.
sorry, yeah, are free.
Yeah.
But these ones are about $10 each.
Yeah.
So not cheap, but not crazy expensive.
Okay. So here we have the cassette kind of thing that we pop the drops on, and that will come up with the reading.
Okay.
We have our nasal swab.
Self-explanatory.
Yep. This is the little stand that we put the liquid on.
Okay.
So that just goes on there. Because if you're doing this by yourself, we would need the extra hands.
All right. And you got gloves.
Yeah, we have gloves, just because it just says to wash your hands, but because it's not my nose.
Mm.
And then you have to wash your hands first. We have some hand sanitizer and the tissues, because you have to blow your nose before you do it as well.
Yep.
And the instructions.
Boring.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go.
So first thing, Carl, we're going to blow your nose.
Okay. So feels weird blowing my nose on camera. It's also not something I'm very good at because my lungs aren't very good, which is why, I'm a little bit worried about this whole coronavirus thing. But I will blow my nose. All right,
Okay.
ready? Okay.
What do you need me to do?
I don't know. What do you do?
How to blow your nose?
Yeah. How do you blow your nose?
Just like hold a nostril and blow.
Okay.
So this nostril, go blow. Oh well. Do you feel like you have boogers on your nose?
No, I feel good. I feel fine.
Oh, then you're good.
Okay.
Alright, we'll dispose of that.
Good quality entertainment this is.
Alright.
What's next?
Now we have our little testy thing. So I'm going to open that first. And lay that flat on the bed. Cool.
I feel like I'm doing a pregnancy test.
Yeah, okay, that's all good. Then we'll open up this. So that's the liquid that we're going to put the test in. And it's just going to stand here. Good. Alright, so now we have the nasal swab, and the instructions for this one says that we have to put it around your nose 4 times per nostril for about 15 seconds. Alright, ready?
Do I have my head down or up?
Up. Okay.
Don't go too far in.
Why? It's
Oh.
it's like 1 to 2 centimeters.
Okay, I'm scared.
Yeah. Have you ever got COVID tested before?
No.
Haven't you?
No.
Okay, ready? It's not pleasant, I know. Don't run away from me. Okay. That's only 1 nostril.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being too nice.
Never cried on camera before.
I bet. Alright, so now it goes into the liquid bit. It says you have to go around 10 times. Alright, then you squeeze it. Yeah. Put this in the rubbish. Alright, so I forgot the dropper, but we put the dropper onto the liquid that we made. And then we do 3 drops onto the testing. And then we wait.
So, how long do we wait for? About 10 minutes?
No, 15 minutes.
15 minutes. I promise I won't talk for 15
actually,
minutes.
It was 4 drops.
And we do 4 drops apparently.
Yeah, these are different to every rapid antigen test has different instructions.
So I think, yeah, they all use very similar technology, but they're all slightly different.
They're slightly different, yeah.
And they're not as accurate as the PCR tests. But I'm not sure if, you know, I mean, they're probably not as accurate generally, but I think because random people like me and you are doing them, there's probably more margin for error, you know, like if you touch it and you know, contaminate it, or you don't follow the instructions properly or something. So even though they're pretty easy to do, they're still...
Yeah, human error.
Human error probably still makes them less valid, so
yeah,
they're not a substitute. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time at the moment because we've got the Omicron variant all around Australia. But I got my booster shot the other day.
Yes.
You got yours the other day as well.
Yeah, I got mine the other week.
So hopefully you don't mind disclosing your vaccination
Oh no, that's fine.
status to
Triple
YouTube.
vaccinated.
And yeah, you know, obviously the protection of that is not as good as it was with
Before
the other variants. Yeah, but it's still better than not getting vaccinated. And I think in Melbourne or in Australia, you know, we're now opening up, and it's you know, it's going to be spreading more. So
Yeah.
you know, it's lots of people like myself are getting a bit more edgy about things. And you know, the government at the moment is saying, you know, things like, oh, you know, we can't tell people what to do, and we don't need any restrictions, and all of that. And it's on one hand, it's, you know, personal responsibility is a good thing, but I think lots of people, you know, are still going to be going out when they're sick, and that, you know, they're not going to stay at home even though they perhaps should. So, you know, people who have weakened immune systems or can't cough like myself, you know, even though they say take responsibility and take care, you know, there's only so much that I can do to protect myself. And so I think that's where it's, you know, the fine line between taking responsibility, you know, as, you know, saying everyone can do what they want, just be careful, and actually having the government impose some restrictions and actually, you know, tell people what to do. So, you know, we'll see how things pan out. But yeah, you know, it is a very worrying time for people, and, you know, just urging everybody to be careful. And, you know, it's about thinking about more than just yourself. You know, it's about thinking about how things spread and all of that. And I've been ranting for ages, but still, it still hasn't changed too much on the test.
So we can see that the C, the control line, is highlighted, which is a good thing. It means that the test is valid.
So I thought the C.
Yeah, what did you think?
I thought the C was Carl and the T was Thompson.
No, not quite. You wish.
Oh.
They're all personalised just for you.
I thought it was my specific test.
Nah. So the C is just there, the control, and then the T is for test. So you want the C to work, to be on, and then no T.
So I'm wanting no T, no Thompson.
Yeah, no Thompson today.
Okay, so far so good.
So far so good.
I really should have started a timer.
I started one.
Oh, you did? You're organised.
My 10 minutes.
It's almost like you've done this before.
Literally.
Okay. Well, yeah, I've had my rant about the government. I've had my rant about personal responsibility.
Yeah.
But I think Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister of Australia today, said something like, it's like
About sunscreen.
about sunscreen. It's about making sure that when you go out, you protect yourself with sunscreen. The difference is if someone who is unvaccinated or vaccinated gets sunburn, they're not going to kill their neighbour. But if someone goes out and gets COVID, they've got a chance of doing that. So I think any comparisons to people's own personal safety is a bit it's not very fair on those who don't have much control over how much they can protect themselves. And people could say, to people who are, quote unquote, vulnerable, that we can just stay inside forever, but that's not a long-term solution either. So it's just about getting the balance right between protecting people but still allowing, enough freedoms. So I think, having people go to the shops and, do all that is good in moderation, but as much as I like the cricket, I'm not sure having 80,000 people together under quite a small stretch of land and seating would be a very good idea for people right now with this whole variant spreading. Still COVID negative, which is good. This video would be a lot more dramatic if it came up.
Imagine it's like clickbait.
Yeah. And yeah, as tempting as it is to make this sound more dramatic than it is, this exercise is more about just understanding the process, and this is something that I'm probably gonna have to do a lot more of.
For sure.
If things get worse in Melbourne where I live. But so far for me, the worst thing has been having Emily stick that thing up my nose.
You cried over it.
I cried over it. You can probably see the tears in the camera.
I didn't know you've never had a COVID test before.
Yeah, no, I've never had one. I've always been really careful.
Yeah.
There have been a couple of instances where I've, had hay fever symptoms and been, asking myself, is this hay fever or are these symptoms? And, because I've been limiting my exposure to people, I was pretty confident that I didn't need a test. But this is definitely a lot harder than putting on sunscreen. So, yeah.
And wearing a hat.
And wearing a hat as well.
Wearing sunscreen and a hat.
Sunscreen and a hat. It's not quite the same. I love a good analogy or comparison, but it's not quite the same thing. Anyway, I'll shut up and I'll let you know when the timer goes off. You actually got a fair way up there.
Yeah, you have to, mate. Make it.
Along the nose and start bleeding.
No, serious.
Does it actually go that far up?
Yeah, wait till it goes down your throat if you get a real one.
God, no thank you.
They like tickle your tonsils.
So I've just been complaining about how uncomfortable it is when Emily stuck the thing up my nose and wiggled it around, and apparently the
real test,
the PCR tests, they go down your throat too.
Yeah.
I must be very ignorant because I don't know about this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I suppose, in a way, it makes me appreciate and be thankful for people who are going to get tests, because it's one of those things where statistically you probably don't have it, but you don't know if you don't get a test. So
you're probably the only person I know that hasn't got a test.
Yeah. Probably gonna jinx my streak now.
Yeah, no, much tomorrow you're gonna wake up with a sore throat.
Yeah. But how many have you had, if I can ask?
I reckon about 4 proper tests.
Yeah.
And I've done lots of these ones just because I don't know, just in case. Working in the industry.
Good for your peace of mind.
And your peace of mind, just after a night out, just to double check.
Yeah. And I've got some stored in my in my front of my house. So if people are a little bit unsure but they're already here, I can get them to do one just to make sure that they're feeling
Yeah.
alright. There's also calls to make these rapid antigen tests free, which I think, you know, is a good idea, because people, you know, aren't going to do them as regularly as they perhaps should if they cost $10 a pop, you know. It's not like buying food. You don't feel great after you've done it, in my experience so far. And even though you get, you know, a bit of peace of mind, which is, you know, priceless, as they say, you know, for people who either can't afford it or, you know, don't have the means otherwise to buy them, you know, they're going to be disadvantaged. So I think some way of, you know, maybe making them either a fair bit cheaper than they are, or maybe giving people, you know, a bit of an allowance where they can have a certain number of them free, you know, per month or something, could be a good interim solution. But I am not a politician. I am just a simple man with simple thoughts.
Well, yeah, they're definitely going to become like not a daily routine, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know, for the last, how long have they been available for?
Yeah, well, they've been
Maybe
available
like-
in Australia for
Not even 2 months, I
Yeah.
think.
nearly 2 months.
Yeah, and I've used like 5 in 2 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so you'll be, you know, burning a bit of a hole in your pocket.
literally, that's $50
Gone.
gone.
That could be spent on something, you know, more fun, like.
Alcohol.
Oh,
Timer.
okay.
Alright,
Okay, big reveal. Alright, big reveal.
I'll get out the camera.
I think we already know the answer, but you gotta make it more dramatic.
Alright, ready?
Okay, make it dramatic, Emily, please.
We'll like slowly go in. Okay, ready? Alright, what is it? What do you reckon?
Hoping it's negative.
That is definitely negative. Not another line to be seen.
Hooray! So yeah, don't have coronavirus
Nope.
/ COVID-19, and hopefully it'll stay that way. And if I do get it, you know, hopefully I'll be alright. I've had my booster, so, you know, if you haven't had your booster yet, go and get it. But yeah, that's it. I'll leave you alone. Thank you for watching Emily stick something up my nose.